Why it's important to start the day right. Everything is decided in the first minutes after waking up. Before you even open your eyes, the day is either working for you or against you. Instead of taking control, most of us automatically reach for the phone. Messages, news, other people's problems, and now your head is on fire. Not because the day is difficult, but because you started it with chaos. 2,000 years ago, the Stoics realized that the way you greet the morning is the way you will live the day. Epictetus said, "First tell yourself what you want to be, and then do what leads to it." Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every day, the world will be rough, people will be selfish, and circumstances will be difficult. But he could always choose how to react. And this is the key. Morning is your psychological foundation. What you lay down in the first 10 minutes after waking up becomes a filter for everything that follows. You get up and immediately get stressed? Expect a stressful day. Did you get up and choose clarity, silence, and direction? The world may be falling apart, but you are staying the course. A chaotic morning is like putting diesel in a Ferrari. The car seems to be running, but every meter is a pain, because the system is running at the wrong speed. Your system is your mind, body, and mood. And if you start every day in survival mode, don't be surprised that all you want from life is to survive. Now think about it. What if, instead of being drawn into the day, you created it? Pause. Pay attention. Breathing. A word. Movement. A perfect morning doesn't take an hour, just a conscious choice. How does your morning start? Do you feel that it sets the tone for the whole day? Write in the comments your ritual or your struggle, and let's pump up the first 10 minutes together. The choices you make right after you wake up are not just a trifle. It's a program for your mind. When you pick up your phone from your pillow, you are choosing external noise over internal silence. When you immediately think of problems, you choose anxiety as a background for the whole day. And here's the paradox. You haven't even gotten up yet, and you're already behind. Because the first minutes are not just the start, it's a crossroads. And as Seneca said, if a man does not know to which port he is sailing, no wind will be favorable. This is the moment between sleep and consciousness. It's invisible, almost inaudible, but it's where you decide. React or create, drown in chaos or steer the course. Your first thoughts become the background. Start the day with fear, and fear will be a filter. Start with clarity, and clarity will keep you going even in a storm. Why does it work? Because your brain is like soft wax in those first minutes. Neurons are not yet firing, logic is not yet dominant. It's an open field, and you either sow intentionality there or let the weeds grow at random. It's a simple choice. But it is the one that can decide whether you will spend the whole day responding to other people's priorities or keep your focus on your own. The Stoics didn't have smartphones, but they did have other inputs. People, circumstances, empires, wars. But both Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus reminded themselves every morning, you do not choose your circumstances, but you always choose how you will meet them. Your victory does not begin when you have finished the job. It starts the first second you don't click snooze, when you chose silence instead of getting stuck in the feed. You chose your breath. You chose yourself. Your first choice is your first step towards strength, and it is your answer to the question, do I control my day, or do I let it control me? Success does not come by chance. It comes where it was already expected, where it was not just wanted, but seen every day, even before it became a reality. This is visualization, not a fantasy, not, it would be nice. It is an accurate internal image of what your action, your voice, your result looks like. In the first minutes after waking up, the brain is still soft, open, and plastic. And it is at this moment that you either imagine everything going wrong or see yourself already at the finish line. And the brain doesn't care which of these is fiction. It does not distinguish between the imaginary and the real. This means that every clear image of success is not a dream. It is an instruction. Athletes know this. Pilots know this. Stoics knew this thousands of years ago. Seneca practiced premeditatio malorum, anticipating difficulties to reduce their impact. But imagination can also be used in the opposite direction, not only to prepare for defeat, but also to prepare for victory. Because when you see yourself in action, you program yourself for that action. When you hear your voice sound confident, your nervous system starts to get used to confidence. When you feel joy after completing a task, you activate the reward system even before the result. This is not magic. These are neuroassociations. It is a tool used by those who do not wait for motivation, but create it. Visualization is not an escape from reality. It's a rewiring of how you perceive it. Because if in the morning you see yourself as someone who is on time, coping, leading, then when a challenge comes up, you won't break down. You will remember this image, and you will subconsciously start living by it. It's like a compass, and while others throw it on the waves of the day, you remember the direction. Tomorrow, when you wake up, don't just get up. Close your eyes. Watch how you act, how you speak, how you finish. Create a version of yourself that has already done what is important to you. See it, feel it, believe it, and then just catch up with what you've already imagined. You wake up and your brain is in a fog. Coffee doesn't help. You have zero motivation. But what if your brain is just waiting for movement? Most people think that inspiration comes first, and then action. But in reality, the opposite is true. Action is the source of energy, and not necessarily a marathon or a gym. Sometimes it's enough to just move to switch the internal switch. When you start moving, it's not just your heart rate that changes. The mental rhythm changes. Blood begins to nourish the brain. Breathing becomes deeper. Muscles awaken, and consciousness awakens with them. This is not fitness for results. This is a physiological activation of clarity. Stoics did not go to gyms, but they understood that movement is the will in action. Because when you force your body to rise, stretch, walk, you make a choice. Not to wait, not to put it off, and to take responsibility from the first minutes. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You were not created for convenience. Your nature is action." And it is action, embodied in the body, that brings you back to yourself. It can be 10 sit-ups, smooth stretching, a slow walk at dawn. No matter what, it's important to choose movement over stagnation every time. Because the body and mind are not separate. When you move, your mind tightens up. Doubts lose their power. Uncertainty subsides. And instead of "I can't," "I'm going," appears. "I'm going." There is one thing that steals your energy every day. It's not a lack of time. It's that thing you keep putting off. It sits in your head while you eat breakfast. It goes with you to the shower. It's getting heavier by the minute. Not because it's difficult, but because you avoid it. And that's why it has you. This is called resistance. The Stoics knew it well, but they did not run away from it. They went towards it. Cleanthes, a student of Zeno, wrote, "Lead me, Zeus and fate, where you have appointed me. I will go without hesitation." Because the Stoic does not wait for inspiration. He chooses to move, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's scary. Morning is the time for this choice. Because it is in the morning that your strength is still fresh, and your doubts have not yet had time to wake up. And if you face the hardest thing first, you will break the lock. The whole day will open up for others. Don't look for an easy start. Look for a foothold. This is the action that scares you the most, the one you were avoiding yesterday. It is your freedom. Because what happens when you do it first? The tension goes down. Your focus grows. Everything else becomes easier. You have removed the mental ballast. This is the key to inner strength. Not to avoid the difficult, but to go through it. As Jung wrote, "What you resist persists, and it grows even more." The solution is simple. Don't check your email. Don't look for small victories. Choose one hard thing to do, and do it. And be the first to do it, because this is not a punishment. This is the practice of independence. You are no longer a victim of didn't have time, couldn't, later. You are the one who chose effort before it became a compulsion. This is Stoicism. This is the will. Your morning is a mirror. It shows not just how you wake up, it shows how you live, and most importantly, how you choose to live. You either create the day or leave it to chance. You either lead or wait for someone else to set the direction. The morning does not deceive. It is not about declarations, it's about actions, because identity is not what you say you are. It is what you do when no one is looking. It's 10 minutes of silence instead of mindless scrolling. It is action instead of excuses. It's I will instead of I wish. Every action you take is a small vote for who you are becoming, and every morning is a chance to cast the right vote. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment. You don't need to invent the perfect routine. You just need one simple intention. Today, I act with choice, not with inertia. The Stoics did not live in theory, but in action. Seneca said, "As you live, so you die." This is not about tragedy, it's about clarity. Because those who live consciously are not afraid of the outcome. They live every day as a choice. Tomorrow morning, don't just wake up. Take it as a challenge. Who are you when there is no noise, no likes, no pressure? Who are you in the first 10 minutes, when the world hasn't had time to demand anything? Become someone who does not wait, but creates. Not a passenger, but a captain. Because this is where strength begins. This is where life with intention begins. If these words touched you, subscribe to the channel. Here we don't just listen, we act. Become part of the Inner Forge community and create yourself every day.